Floyd Mayweather Jr. started his jail sentence on June 1st. Life behind bars is a far cry from the glamorous one he is used to.
I'm not trying to boast what I have accomplished in life, but I'm just saying this to repeat they might forget that the best fighter in the world.
Manny Pacquiao has made fun of Floyd Mayweather after news came out that Mayweather might be arrested for fraud. Mayweather has been accused of being involved in scams related to fake property deals and not paying his debts. Pacquiao used this moment to take a jab at him, saying that karma has finally caught up with the man who calls himself the money man, and now he has to face serious consequences.
There's been a lot of bad news associated with the Mayweather name over the past several weeks, and Floyd Mayweather has had no control over any of it.
Manny Pacquiao didn't miss a chance to publicly mock Floyd Mayweather after news came out about his arrest in a fraud investigation. Pacquiao said that Mayweather had been more focused on making money from exhibition fights instead of chasing real boxing achievements. He suggested that Mayweather's arrogance has finally caught up with him. Pacquiao also pointed out that true champions stay humble and don't constantly praise themselves. He reminded fans that boxing is about leaving a legacy, not showing off with luxury and wealth. According to Pacquiao, real greatness is shown through actions, not through diamonds, private jets, or flashy lifestyles.
The fighter is, I believe his name's Conor McGregor, yeah.
Have you seen him?
And if you have, what do you think of that? Just him as a fighter and then that whole Mayweather wanting to fight him.
I don't want to make that story.
You can be modest.
I don't want to make the story big and the issue is big, so I just want to. I want to keep my mouth shut.
The rivalry between Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather is nothing new. Even though they fought in the ring years ago, the tension between them is still strong. Mayweather has always said he's better than Pacquiao, both as a boxer and as a public figure. In interviews, Floyd often talks down Pacquiao's achievements while praising his own. He refuses to accept any comparison between them, calling himself one of the greatest in boxing history and treating Pacquiao's success as not as important.
Manny Pacquiao spoke about that he shouldn't have. Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
Because it's a time and a place for everything. I'm not gonna say he's right and I'm not gonna say he's wrong. You know, but it's so crazy. When he spoke about it, I could have easily came out and said, yeah, you spoke about it. I ain't have to say nothing. Just by you saying my name, they gave me a check for $4 million. He said my name when he didn't supposed to speak, when he didn't supposed to. Remember I said, it's a time and a place for any and everything. Manny Pacquiao he's not a better fighter than me.
Floyd, what is your assessment of Manny Pacquiao and his shoulder injury?
Come on. I mean, this is ridiculous. Excuses, excuses, excuses. He was throwing combinations. Everything seemed just fine. He lost. He know he lost. I lost a lot of respect for him. You know, you fight. If you lose, it's okay. Mayweather was the better man. You fight 10 times, I'm gonna win 10 times. You fight 20 times, I'm gonna win 20 times. You fight 100 times, I'm gonna win 100 times. Manny Pacquiao, he's not on my level. Manny Pacquiao, he will never be on my level. Period. Simple and plain. It's okay to be number 2. It's okay to be right behind me. It's okay. I won. I know I won. I know I'm a better fighter.
The boxing world and fans have long compared Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. Their different fighting styles, personalities, and accomplishments have sparked debates that continue even after their boxing careers slowed down. These differences have kept their names connected for years. Many fans and boxing experts often support Pacquiao when it comes to dignity and how he carries himself in public. While Floyd is known for showing off his wealth and making bold statements, Manny has stayed humble and respectful, earning admiration both inside and outside the ring.
Peace. Romello Scuzz from Undisputed Spit. I got a question for y'all. What's more impressive? Floyd Mayweather's 50-0 or Manny Pacquiao's world titles in 8 different weight classes? Comment down below.
I won. I know I won. I know I'm a better fighter. You fight 10 times, I'm gonna win 10 times. You fight 20 times, I'm gonna win 20 times. You fight 100 times, I'm gonna win 100 times. Manny Pacquiao he's not a better fighter than me. Nowhere around the board.
The tension between Pacquiao and Mayweather even reached the courtroom in the past. In 2009, Pacquiao filed a defamation lawsuit against Mayweather after being accused of using performance-enhancing drugs. Although the case was eventually settled without any money being awarded, it added more bitterness to an already intense rivalry between the two boxing legends.
At Dan Rayfield. And Dan, what is Pacquiao hoping to accomplish with this lawsuit?
Well, I know that the negotiations for this fight have been ongoing, but I just got off the telephone with Daniel Petrocelli, who was the attorney for Manny Pacquiao, literally moments before coming on the air, and I asked him that exact question. And his point was, regardless of whether or not they're negotiating this fight, that that the comments that they alleged that the Mayweather people had made were irresponsible and reckless and malicious, and they had to answer it no matter what. And so they felt like they had no choice but to file the lawsuit, regardless of whether or not the fight takes place.
After retiring from boxing in 2021, Manny Pacquiao fully stepped into the world of politics. Although he was not successful in his run for presidency in the Philippines, he has continued to serve the public and support various charitable causes. His efforts have helped strengthen his image as a man of the people, showing that his commitment to helping others goes beyond the boxing ring.
2015, remember that one. Pacquiao is now planning to run for president in his native Philippines this upcoming May. But Shannon, how will you remember Manny as a boxer?
Historically great fighter.
Good for you.
The only fighter to win 8 world titles. I mean, started out, Skip, he started out boxing, he was 106 pounds, won a title at, I think, 112, and went all the way up to
108 first.
Went all the way up to 154.
It's impossible. It's just...
I don't believe, I feel very comfortable said I don't believe we'll ever see that again, Skip.
We'll never see it again.
And it wasn't like he was fighting bums. When you go back and look at Marco Antonio Barrera and Eric Morales and Oscar Larios and De La Hoya and Hatton and Cotto, Margarita, Mosley, Timothy Bradley, Mayweather, Skip. I mean, what do you got to say? He was a champion in 4 different decades.
Yep.
Fighter of the year. First ballot Hall of Fame. He's great. He fought everybody.
Boxing legend Roy Jones Jr. shared his opinion that Floyd Mayweather's win over Manny Pacquiao shouldn't be praised too much. He explained that Pacquiao was no longer at his best when the fight happened. According to Roy, Floyd simply took advantage of an aging fighter instead of facing Manny when he was in his prime.
I would not be able to take credit for beating Pacquiao after he got knocked out by Marquez, because that's not the same Pacquiao.
Of course.
That's not the Pacquiao at the top of his game.
Yeah, of course.
But in society today, we'll call that person the best fighter ever.
Of course.
When that's not how that goes. That's not reality. But in the business world, it is, because look how much money.
Rapper 50 Cent, who was once close to Floyd Mayweather, claimed that Floyd isn't as rich as he pretends to be. He said that Mayweather's flashy lifestyle is mostly for show and is based on exaggerated deals and fake displays of wealth, not real financial power.
Does Floyd Mayweather, is he as rich as we think he is?
No.
So when we see the $1 million in the bag,
that money, light money, like he can get his hands on that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like if
I need some of that light money.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Anytime like that, he is who he is. You can't discredit who he is. Like, and again, I'll tell you, like, I don't mind, telling the truth in situations like this.
There has long been speculation that Floyd Mayweather intentionally delayed the fight with Manny Pacquiao. Many believe that Floyd avoided facing Manny during his most dangerous years, only agreeing to the fight when he felt Pacquiao had slowed down.
My eyes keep telling me, wait, does Manny look like a steroid creation? Does he look like some mini Schwarzenegger? Well, I can give you any other thing that steroid can do, but not natural hand quickness. So if you're right about how Floyd Mayweather is the greatest defensive tactician in the history of boxing, what should he care about how ripped or big the head is of Manny Pacquiao? Pretty boy Floyd is worried that for the first time in his career, he's going to get hit and hit and hit. He's going to get cut. He's going to get hurt. He is scared to...
Videos from past years show Manny Pacquiao publicly calling out Floyd Mayweather, urging him to accept the fight sooner. Pacquiao appeared genuinely eager to prove himself, while Floyd kept delaying the fight with vague reasons or changing demands.
I mean, I want that fight happen because that's the fans want.
Yeah.
But the problem is, it's up to him.
Yeah.
Now, all I can say is,
Come on, man. What do you got?
Hold on. My line is open 24 hours and 7 days a week. Anytime he can call me and say yes.
Not on that
I will fight, and then the fight will be on.
Why hasn't he called you yet? Do you think he doesn't want to fight you? Why hasn't he called you yet?
I don't know.
I know you just put the phone there, but I mean, is it a collect call?
It's coolie call. He don't need to pay something or anything. It's a coolie call, and he can call me anytime. If he say yes, and then the fight will be.
Despite being one of the highest paid athletes ever, Floyd Mayweather's financial situation has faced several public setbacks. From IRS tax liens to questionable purchases, the image of him as a stable businessman has slowly started to fall apart.
Floyd Mayweather just signed a deal to lease an apartment in Midtown Manhattan. He's going to be paying $100,000 per month for this place. Here's the apartment, you guys. It's got 5 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms, 4,000 square feet, and the place is pretty epic, I'm not gonna lie. The description says that this is a double unit and it is a corner unit, so you got a ton of natural light in here. Do you think this place is worth $100,000 per month? Why would Floyd spend $100,000 a month on this apartment? If I had to guess, it would be a combination of owning something is just kind of a liability. Plus, I'm pretty sure whenever you rent a place versus buy a place for business purposes, you're able to write off more of that lease payment. So if I had to guess, that $100,000 per month is going to be a pretty big write-off for him based on how he plans to use this place.
Floyd Mayweather recently claimed that he bought a building worth over $400 million. This statement raised red flags, with critics questioning the source of the money, the proof of the purchase, and the true intention behind such a claim, especially since there were no public records or validation to back it up.
Boxing documents. The beef between 50 Cent and Floyd Mayweather is heating up again. 50 Cent posted a video calling out Floyd's claim of spending $400 million on NYC apartments, saying there's no proof of the purchase. The long-running feud continues, with 50 Cent suggesting Floyd's real estate empire may be a fancy fantasy. Floyd has remained silent, but the drama shows no signs of ending.
Floyd Mayweather is trying to buy a piece of the New York Giant. Floyd, I know you're the GOAT in boxing. I don't need you to come to the NFL, especially to the NFC East, and mess with the Cowboys, the Dallas Cowboys got going on. We got 2 easy wins against the Giants every year. I don't need you messing that up like Magic Johnson did when he went to the Washington Commanders and took them to the NFC Championship.
Adding to the skepticism, 50 Cent once again called out Floyd Mayweather, stating that there's no actual proof the building exists under his name. He mocked the claim, suggesting it was just another attempt by Floyd to grab headlines without any real facts to back it up.
Did Floyd Mayweather make a good real estate deal? Let's break it down really quick so you can understand. Yes, the fuck he did. Let's start off with the purchase price. He bought 1,000 units for $402 million. What's the math? 402 million. Let's say 400 million divided by 1,000 units. That's what, people? $400,000. Okay, follow me. Now, rent in New York is about $3,000 to $4,000 for a 2 or 3 bedroom. Crazy, I know. That's how they live it, though. Now, keep up. 400,000. What's 1% of 400,000? All right, that's $4,000. In real estate, there's something called the 1% rule, which means if something is 1% of the purchase price in rent, that means it is a cash flowing possibility, opportunity. So he has a cash flowing property straight out the gate. I'm not going to mention the hundreds of millions of dollars in tax exemptions he will get for this property. It's a win for Floyd. He doesn't lose.
Other reports have backed 50 Cent stance, pointing out that there's no verification of Floyd Mayweather's massive real estate claims. The numbers don't add up, and Floyd has refused to provide any documentation to support his statements, further damaging his credibility.
As of today, none of the buildings that Floyd Mayweather claimed that he bought, his name is not listed as the owner of those buildings. Now, maybe it's an oversight. I hope that Floyd Mayweather bought these buildings legit.
According to insiders and critics, including 50 Cent, Floyd Mayweather has shown jealousy toward his protege, Gervonta Tank Davis, instead of proudly supporting the younger fighter. Allegedly, Mayweather kept the spotlight on himself and didn't fully help Tank reach his full potential.
Talk this Tank Davis fight, and I want to talk 50 and Mayweather. 50 said that Tank better get away from old boy because Mayweather got a jealous heart and Mayweather only wants himself to win. I found that, I think that was 50's IG, I think. You know what I'm saying? I think that was one of his posts. IG, Twitter, I don't know which one.
Floyd Mayweather's business model relied on making fans dislike him by playing the role of the villain. He convinced people to pay just to watch him lose, which worked financially. However, this strategy also tainted his legacy, leaving behind more controversy than admiration.
This is Money Mayweather, not Pretty Boy Floyd. You see, in boxing, usually people
people have like an alter ego, the character they play. He had to change his character from Pretty Boy Floyd to Money because Pretty Boy Floyd had a problem. You need to listen. Now, the problem was he was tiny. But more than that, his hands were tiny. Now, I don't know much about JB, but I know he ain't big. And then boy got the same frame. That's twinning him. Now, let me be more specific. It wasn't his hands so much that were tiny. It's that they were brittle. It's believed to be genetic because his dad broke his hand and his uncle broke his hand. Yeah, they were all boxers and them boys could throw hands. But that does not mean he had it easy. You see, his dad sold a bunch of stuff and his mom did a bunch of stuff. So to escape his traumatic childhood, all he would do is train day in and day out. He said, I had to take care of my mom. But he trained so much because it's all he knew that his hands started to hurt. Now, during a match, he breaks his hand. It turns out that both of his hands were severely injured. They told him, Floyd, you're not boxing anymore. He said, nah, I'm finna box. They said, no, you're not hearing me. The problem is you already beat everybody your side. Listen, Floyd had a bigger issue. He needed to start boxing people that were way bigger than him because everybody his size couldn't hang with him. So if his hands were breaking against smaller guys, against bigger guys, he better have no arms. So Mayweather's team said we need to switch things up. This dude, Mayweather's promoter, said switch things. What not? Everything's staying the same, stupid. He said, I got 750K. The end of your contract is done. Mayweather said, here. He said, look, I don't pay you that much. He said, oh, okay, big dog, you got it. So they devised a plan. Go from Pretty Boy to Money. See, Pretty Boy loved to throw hands, but Money was a defensive specialist. In fact, he's easily considered as the greatest defensive boxer of all time. But that wasn't the only reason he changed his name. Look at that man's face. Mayweather was known to talk smack and aggravate people, but this made things even worse because now he's blocking and running away. So people was like, you doing all this talking, but you running. As he's moving away, he's throwing in some hits here and there. And before you know it, when the fight's over, he lands so many more hits that he always wins. So people would always say, Mayweather, you boring. You not throwing hands for real. But his reply was always, nah, do something about it. So people lost it. They started paying to see him lose. But this strategy was none other than Muhammad Ali's strategy. In his words, he would talk so much trash that people would pay to see him lose. And they would get disappointed every time. So they would come back next time and spend some more money. But the only person winning is Muhammad Ali. So this turns Mayweather into one of the richest athletes of all time. Why? Because of his brutal hands. So don't let anyone ever tell you you can't do something.
Floyd Mayweather's obsession with money has become a key part of his public image. He's often seen carrying duffel bags full of cash and flaunting expensive jewelry, cars, and planes at every opportunity. What once seemed impressive now appears desperate to many observers. In one particularly absurd moment, Floyd was seen counting stacks of money during a live event, completely ignoring the fight happening in front of him. These flashy stunts, once considered cool, now seem to reflect insecurity and denial rather than true success. Despite these public displays of wealth, Floyd has faced serious financial trouble. Reports show he has struggled to pay taxes and may have relied on quick cash from exhibition fights to cover financial gaps. The IRS has filed multiple liens against him, including $22 million from 2015 alone, and another $7.2 million from earlier years. These figures are not rumors but part of official legal records, showing that Floyd's financial stress is very real.
Kind of reminded me, there was a small segment in that episode that stated that a lot of fighters believe in their immortality. You know what I mean? We've seen this before. So the question I ask, we have seen this movie before. Boxers traditionally going broke. You know, they start off well, so flamboyant, with all this money and all these cars, and they have businesses they invest in. There's something special, you know, at least in their minds they are. And then after either retirement or near retirement or after the fight game has left them, traditionally boxers go broke, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm not saying this is going to happen to Floyd Mayweather, but I swear on everything, man, I hope it doesn't happen to Floyd Mayweather, because Floyd Mayweather is going to go down in the halls of history, ladies and gentlemen, as possibly top 3 to top 5 to top 10 of all-time greats. I mean, depending on how you view Floyd Money Mayweather. But however, he is definitely the #1 boxer of my era, ladies and gentlemen, of my time on this earth of watching this sport of boxing. No one has the skill set of Floyd Money Mayweather. Carve it up, chop it up how you like. Get on the debate about his opponents, all this other crap. We can have that for another video. But this man is going to go down in history as an all-time great, without a doubt. And it's going to, and I understand the argument for those who want to maybe even present the argument that he's the #1 greatest of all time. I see valid points in that argument. I don't agree with that, but I see valid points in that argument. This is a great boxer. We are going to miss Floyd Money Mayweather when he leaves the sport, ladies and gentlemen. But the fact remains, Floyd Money Mayweather and all of his accomplishments and all of the great things that he's done inside the ring, however, seems to be playing the same tune or acting in the same movie of a lot of boxers that make a lot of money.
Despite his mounting debts, Floyd Mayweather hasn't slowed down his spending. He continues to buy exotic cars, private jets, and luxury goods, showing no signs of budgeting. His behavior seems more like denial than a financial strategy. Fellow athletes, celebrities, and even fans have started calling out Floyd's lifestyle. What was once seen as entertaining now feels wasteful and disconnected from reality, especially during a time of global economic hardship. Mayweather once inspired millions with his rags to riches boxing success story. But today, he's making headlines not for his sport achievements, but for being investigated in a massive scam worth hundreds of millions.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. I mean, we all know him, the tremendous, talented boxer, but people don't realize how smart he is in business, especially real estate. He just did a blockbuster deal, forget about it. Upper Manhattan, 1,000 units, consisting of 60 buildings, affordable housing, $402 million purchase price. The seller, Black Spruce Management. This is going to be a monster, huge deal. Already, a very big portion of it already closed. The remaining portion should be closing the beginning of 2025. This is a guy who believes in long-term wealth, generational wealth. He's heavily involved in skyscrapers. Now he's getting very, very big in affordable housing in Upper Manhattan. Tremendous deal. $402 million. Once again, 1,000 units, 60 buildings. Forget about it, model. That's what I'm talking about. That's smart. That's generational wealth, in my opinion. Not financial advice, not a financial planner, but very, very impressed. Floyd Mayweather Jr. Not too shabby. V for victory.
That's all for today's video. Stay tuned for the next one.